All right. So it was AS11 in CA intermediate. Let's cover few basic things first. Currency. Start with the currency. There are three types of currencies as per Ind AS. Three types of currencies. First, the foreign currency. Second, the functional currency. Third, the presentation currency. Repeat. Foreign, functional, presentation. Now, okay. Foreign currency. Any currency other than functional. Any currency other than functional is a foreign currency. Foreign currencies can be the multiple currencies also. Like I am doing foreign currency transaction in Australian dollar, in US dollar, in euro, in pound. Multiple currencies can be the foreign currency. Foreign currency can be more than one. Alright. Tell me guys, understood or not? What is most important is functional currency. The very, very important functional currency. Functional, the name itself suggests that functional, the currency in which the entity's business is functioning. Entity is doing its business or the major activity, the operating activity, the financing activity in which currency or which currency is dominating the entity's entire business. Suppose maybe the entity is dealing in so many multiple currency, but there must be a one currency which must be dominating or must be in the dominating position, or any particular currency in which management generally takes the decision making, a particular currency which affects the decision making, a particular currency where entity's major revenue is getting generated. Entity's sales of goods, the price of sales of goods, sales price is getting affected because of that currency. The sales price is getting affected by which currency? It is the functional currency. If you are not able to determine the functional currency by the sales price, determine the functional currency by the direct cost of the goods. How do you purchase the goods? In which currency do you purchase the goods? In which currency do you take the decisions of costing? Or on which currency you arrange the funds of financing? You take the loan, you arrange the funds in which currency? So there are so many factors by which we can understand that what it could be, what the functional currency could be. Ind AS 21 gives us so many indicators that by following those indicators we can be able to evaluate what is our functional currency. Is it Indian rupee or not? Is it any other currency? So we will discuss some indicator. The third one, presentation currency. The presentation currency is the currency where you present your financial statements. Now, in 99% times, the functional currency and the presentation currency is same. Because you are working your business in the functional currency, definitely you will present in your financial statement in the same currency. But companies like Infosys, they are listed in out of India also. So companies like those companies which are listed in India as well as out of India in the international stock exchange market, they may have to submit their financial statement in other currency also, because they are listed in suppose they are listed in the New York Stock Exchange. So those companies which are listed through SEBI in the Stock Exchange of India and which are listed in the Stock Exchange out of India, they may have to prepare their financial statements in multiple currencies. Now Infosys has to prepare the financial statement in Indian rupee. Infosys has to prepare the financial statement in dollar also. So in that case, dollar will also be the presentation currency. So in the same way, presentation currency can be two or more. Again, let's make it short. Long story short. One is foreign. One is foreign currency, which is other than functional currency. Second one, Functional. It is the main operation. It is the currency which is actually your main currency. You think from that currency only. You take decision from that currency only point of view. Technically, functional currency is here in our heart. Which is the currency which is in the heart of that particular entity. That is the functional currency. It is only one. It cannot be multiple. The last. Presentation currency. Presentation currency, where we present our financial statements in which currency? If we are presenting our financial statement in Indian rupee, our functional currency is also Indian rupee, suppose. And presenting our financial statement in Indian rupee, both the functional and the presentation currency are same. But my functional currency is Indian rupee. I am presenting my financial statement in Indian rupee as well as dollar. My presentation currencies are two. Indian rupee as well as dollar. Guys, are you understanding or not? So this is the presentation currency. Except functional, both the other currencies are multiple, can be multiple, more than two or more. Understood or not? So these are three currencies. These are the three currencies. Now let's first of all check the definition, check the indicators, check some cases, and then we'll move on towards the accounting treatment of Ind AS 21. First of all, check the definitions and check the indicators of those currencies, of the functional currency basically. Notes are quite interesting for this Ind AS 21, definitely, because each and everything is clearly written along with some of the good indicators which are not in the ICI material also. So please read it carefully. So there are the key definitions. These are the key definitions. Now please try to understand. There are the key definitions: foreign currency, functional currency, presentation currency, and the last one is foreign operation. It means foreign subsidiary. Foreign operation means foreign subsidiary. Please write it. Foreign operation means foreign subsidiary. Foreign operation means foreign subsidiary. Now read the first one, foreign currency. Loudly, please. Currency other than functional currency of the entity. It can be more than one. Okay, next. Is a currency of primary economic environment in which we are talking about the economic environment. Economic environment means country. In which country entity is being operating, or which country's economic environment affecting the business of the entity. Which country's economic environment affecting the business of the country. Let me give you one example. I started one company in India. And I have 100 employees in India. These 100 employees are basically the consultants. I hired all consultants in a payroll. These can be the BCom pass or CF intermediate pass. All of them I recruited all of them. Why? I have thousands of clients, international clients only. I don't have even a single client from India. I take accounting work of US companies. Basically, and these US companies are my clients. My entire revenue is coming from which economic environment? Which economy? US. Technically, I can say that my company is totally dependent on US economy. Say na guys. My company's business is totally dependent on which economy? US economy, because all my clients are from US. So yes, I can say that even though I'm Indian entity, even though my registered office in India, even though I have 100 of employees in my India, even though I have expenditures in India, but the company's primary economic environment is US. Why so? Because company's total revenue or sales is coming from, tell me na guys, is coming from US. So company's economic environment you have to check. In which economic environment company is operating? Company is operating in India, but company is dependent on the US economy. So company company's business is running from the US economy. Primary economic environment is not the Indian economic. Primary economic environment for the company is US. Have you guys understood or not? Is the currency of functional currency is the currency of primary economic environment in which entity operates. In this regard, primary economic environment will normally be the one in which entity what is written? Primarily generates the cash and expands the cash. Now in my case, I expand the cash in India. I generate the cash from US. In my example, I generate the cash from US and I expand make expenses in India. Now there are two economic environments. One is Indian environment where I make expenditures in rupee, but I generate the cash from US. I have to identify which economic environment is for me is primary. Guys, are you understanding or not? Sir, suppose for you it's 50-50. Suppose you are dependent, okay, your revenue is totally dependent on US economy, but sir, your 100% expenditure you are doing in the India only. Technically, the level of dependency, you are saying that the level of dependency on your US economy, you are that much equally dependent on your Indian employees also. Tell me now. You are that much dependent on Indian employees also. So technically, sir, it's 50-50. Now, sir, tell us what is the functional currency? Wait, we have so many indicators. Still, it cannot be decided whether my functional currency is a US based currency or Indian based currency. Still, there are some additional indicators. Suppose if you are confused in the sales part and in the expenditure part, we have so many indicators. We'll come to that indicators also. Understood or not, guys? But what is the functional currency? Currency of primary economic environment in which entity operates. Now, what is primary economic environment? From that environment from which entity generates the cash, or in the environment in which entity expands the cash. Okay? What is presentation currency? What is presentation currency? In which financial statements are presented. In which financial statements are presented. Presentation currency may be different from the entity's functional currency. I told you already, it may be different. Like I present my financial statements in rupee as well as dollar. So dollar is my presentation currency, but dollar is not my functional currency. It may be different from functional currency. Okay. So these are the three definitions. Have you understood or not? What is foreign operation? Please read. An entity that is either subsidiary or associate or of the guys, reporting entity means who is following Ind AS, who is preparing the financial statement as per Ind AS. Now the reporting entity's subsidiary is a foreign entity. If it is a foreign, then it becomes a foreign operation. So foreign operation could be foreign branch, foreign associate, foreign JV, foreign subsidiary of my company. Understood or not? The activities of which are based or conducted in a country or currencies other than those of reporting entities. Like the activity of that company is other than the activity of the holding company. Understood or not? So it carries its activity in a place which is different from the place of holding. Like the country is different. So it becomes a foreign subsidiary or foreign operation. Have you understood or not? Is tell na? Yes. Now, these are the indicators. Functional currency is the currency of primary economic environment in which entity operates. To determine functional currency, entity should emphasize the currency that determines the pricing of the transaction that it undertakes rather than focusing on the currency in which those transactions are denominated. Do not focus on that currency where you denominate your sales. The denomination doesn't matter. What matters? Which currency affecting the price of goods and services, basically. Which company affecting the price of goods and services. Take one more example. Take one more example. BMW, Mercedes. These all are technically Indian. Are they Indian companies? Huh? These are German-based companies. Okay. Now, they don't even manufacture even a single part in India. Generally, some of the companies manufacture, but most of the companies, most of the brands don't manufacture. They just Basically import and assemble only. And this is the reason why these cars are so much expensive. Are you guys understanding or not? Now let me give you one more example. Have you heard the name BYD?
Yes, BYD or Build Your Dream.
Build Your Dream.
China.
Chinese company.
Yes.
BYD car is there. In India they came already. BYD. Electric car. There is one more car, Hyundai Ioniq. Have you heard the name Hyundai Ioniq? It's a 100% electric car. Awesome. It can beat BMW Mercedes and it costs only 50 lakhs. And it has a level of 1.5 CR car basically. Why it is 50 lakh? Because it is being manufactured in India only. It is manufactured in India only basically. There is one more car, Kia brand. Huh? Kia launched its 100 units of specialized car in India. Only 100 units, limited edition. I don't know the featured name, but EV6. No. I am talking about that 80 lakh car, rupees 80 lakhs. So that is a limited edition car basically. So why it was 80? Hyundai Ioniq have the same features, same features, but it is costing only 50 lakh in India, 45 to 50. But the same Kia, same car, same features, it costs 80 lakhs. Why? Because it is not manufactured in India, it is just assembled in India. So basically, take the example of those companies, those German-based companies, which assemble their car or which directly import the car from Germany. They have so much of cost. And this is the reason in India, they have limited customer base. Luxurious, limited customer base only. And their price is getting affected because of two things. Because of the currency fluctuations and because of the Indian taxes. The price are getting affected because of the Indian taxes and because of the currency fluctuations. Now, if that particular company, which is a German company operating in India, if that company thinks that my price is majorly dependent on government taxes, Indian government taxes, definitely, even though it is a German company, but it is operating in India, because their goods price are affecting due to government taxes, tax policies of the government, they may take Indian currency as the functional currency, because their price of the ultimate price of their car is getting affected because of the Indian taxes. Are you guys understanding my point or not? So what it says, please read the notes. Don't check the denomination. Don't see that your entire sale is in US dollar, so your functional currency will be dollar. No, it doesn't matter. The denomination doesn't matter. The denomination doesn't matter. Which currency affecting the pricing basically? Which currency is affecting the pricing? That matters actually. Which currency or which country or which economic environment is affecting your price? Have you got understood or not? All right. Primary economic environment. Now these are the 4 indicators. Please guys, look at the indicators now. These are the 4 indicators. Out of these, 2 are the primary and the other 2 are other indicators. If you got confused in the primary, in real life, if you get confused in the primary, you can take the help of other indicators. But first of all, you have to follow primary indicators. Decide your functional currency based on primary indicators. Now everyone will read the first one and I'll ask any question from you. Yes, what is the first one? What is the first one? The currency of the country whose competitive forces or whose regulation. I have given you the example of German-based companies. Even though it is a German-based company, if it is selling goods or selling cars in India, The Indian regulations affecting the price of the car. Tell me now, guys. So as far as Indian business is concerned, their Indian business is affected by Indian currency heavily, or Indian regulations are affecting the prices heavily. So they have to consider Indian currency as their functional currency for the Indian operation only. I am not saying that for the entire operation. I am just saying for the Indian operation, they have to take Indian currency. Guys, are you understanding or not? So currency that mainly influence the sale price of the goods, or which determine the sale price of the goods and services. If you are not able to identify based on the sales, go to the second one. What it says? Currency that mainly influence the cost. Now, first example I have given you that all the clients are from US. I do the US accounting basically of all my clients. Okay, so my sale price is getting affected from US, but at the same time, all the employees are from India. So my entire cost is getting influenced by Indian currency. Now it's a 50-50 situation. What should I do? Go to the other indicators now. Please go to the other indicators. Currency in which funds from financing activities are, okay, same example, US. Revenue from US. Expenditure in India, on the employees of India, all the expenditure in India. Now I am confused. From primary indicator, I am confused. Now I will check the third one. Funds from financing activity. What is this fund from financing activity? Borrowings. How I arranged my funds, how I arranged my borrowings. Are they being arranged in India only, or they are being arranged somewhere else, from somewhere else? So I decided that I arranged my funds from India only. I took a bank loan in India. I invested my capital in Indian currency only. I got the answer that my functional currency should be Indian currency. Guys, understood or not? So if you are confused in the first two indicators, you have the option to check third one and the fourth one. What is the third one? Borrowings. Major borrowing from which country? Major borrowing from in which currency? Then decide. If you are still confused, that suppose sir I have 50% borrowing in dollar and 50% borrowing in India. Now go to the fourth one. Currency in which receipt from operating activities are retained. Okay. Wait. I have a bank account in India. I have a bank account in foreign, US also. Actually, whatever I earn now, after making all the expenditures, after deducting all the expenditure, whatever I earn now, I retain my money in the US bank account only. I don't retain my money in Indian account. So it is the fourth indicator, that if you are retaining your earnings in which currency, that means you have the trust issues, maybe. Like you are retaining your currency in US, that means you are having trust issues with the Indian currency. That means if something happened in the future and you have funds in the dollar, you will feel yourself as a safe. So you maintain your maximum retained earnings in your dollar, then the dollar will become your functional currency. Guys, are you understanding or not? So these are the indicators. Now I am not saying ki apply any one of them. I am saying first of all rely on the first two. If you are getting confused, then go to the borrowing one or the retention part. Not understanding, yeah? Huh? Everyone? Yes. Fine, na? Yes. What are the four indicators? Tell me. Four indicators. First, the currency whose competitive forces or regulation affecting the sale price. Currency which influence the cost, major cost, material, labor and all. Borrowing. What borrowing? Funds from financing activities are generated. Fourth, receipts from operating activities are retained in which currency. So based on that you will decide your functional currency. Have you understood or not? Now if you are understood, tell me the answer of this case study. Tell me the answer of this case study. You won't find these case studies in your ICI material. These are different basically. Please read this. It's a subsidiary in India. Purchase goods from A Incorporation, its holding company in USA. Purchases are done in USD, are based on the price in the US market. Sales goods in USD only. Sale price is influenced by holding. Holding is in US. Tell me. Other expenses are done locally. M Limited has an external commercial borrowing from A. Borrowing also from US dollar. So tell me, which currency is dominating? US dollar. So US dollar is the functional currency. Guys, understood or not? Come to the second case. Comes to the second case. N Limited, a subsidiary in India, purchase goods from A Incorporation, its holding company in USA. Purchases are done in USD based on the price in US market. Sales goods in INR, but sale price is influenced by the country of the holding company. I told you, don't look into the denomination. Look into the influence affecting the price. Which currency affecting the sale price? US. Influenced by the country of the holding company. Understood or not? Okay. Other expenses are incurred locally. Commercial borrowing from A Incorporation for financing activities. Which currency is the? USD is the functional currency. Okay, fine. Next. Okay, next. USA Limited owns a subsidiary in India, Dragon Limited. D assembles all goods in India. Using a combination of locally sourced material and material manufactured by you. Okay, D imports some material from the holding and purchase some material in India also. A combination. All the goods are then exported and sold in Australia based on the sale price determined by you and influenced by Indian market. The company has a loan from Indian bank. Tell me. INR, because more indicators are downing towards the INR basically. So it's a INR is the functional currency. Guys, understood or not? Okay, next one, the last. The last one. X Limited, a subsidiary in India, purchase goods from A, its holding company in USA. Purchases are done in USD based on the price in US market. Sales goods in INR, sale prices market determined. Other expenses are incurred locally. It remits its proceeds to the holding company. What is the meaning of the last point? Funds from operating activities are getting retained in which currency? It sends all the funds to holding company. So all the earnings are transferring to holding company. Tell me which currency is the functional currency? US based currency is the functional currency because expenses are only done in India. Sale is denominated in Indian currency, but the sale price is market driven basically. So considering the additional indicator of remittance, we can conclude that the USD is the functional currency. COVID-19s are not now applicable. Okay, COVID-19 related points are not applicable any part of the Indias. Don't worry. So whenever you see any COVID-19, please do not consider them. It is not applicable. Okay. Now, do you know what is monetary? What is non-monetary? Do you know what is monetary? What is non-monetary? Monetary item, non-monetary item. Sorry? No, that is not monetary. What is monetary item? Very good. So it is monetary. And non-monetary, non-fixed unit of currency. Any example? What is plant and machinery? Monetary or non-monetary? How? Okay. All right. Monetary, non-monetary. Just listen now, please. Monetary, non-monetary. Monetary or non-monetary could be asset and liability only. When we talk about the monetary and non-monetary, please don't think about the incomes and expenses. Under monetary, non-monetary, only asset and liability would come. No income and expense. Okay, fine. Asset and liability would come. Now the next. What is monetary? Any asset or any liability whose currency value is fixed. Whose currency value is fixed under a contract. Or at any time whose value is fixed. Like debtors. I sold you goods costing rupees 50,000. You will pay me after 2 months. Just compare it, please. I sold you goods of rupees 50,000. You will pay me after 2 months. How much you will pay me after 2 months? 50,000. Another example. Compare that one. 50,000 I invested in the equity share of a company. Now compare these two. 50,000 of equity share, 50,000 of debtor. Which one is fixed? Which one is fixed? Tell me. Debtor is always fixed. In the entire 2 months, it will not up and down. But which is not fixed. Which is not fixed. Equity investment is not fixed. It may fluctuate. So it's a non-monetary. The monetary assets are liabilities which are recoverable in fixed amount or payable in fixed amount. Recoverable, fixed. Payable, fixed. Recoverable, debtors. Bill receivables. Loans and advances. Fixed. Payable, loans, borrowings, trade payables, creditors in fixed unit of currency. Fixed. They are always fixed. So these are monetary. What is non-monetary? What is non-monetary? Other than monetary. Other than monetary. That means that is fluctuating. Like building, equity investment. Building. I have a building. Now tell me, its value is 5 crore. After 1 year, it is also 5 crore. It may fluctuate, na? It may fluctuate. So every time it may fluctuate. Inventory, cost or NRV, whichever is lower. So inventory's value is getting fluctuated, investments value getting fluctuated, building plant and machinery gets fluctuated, and because of this you charge a depreciation. All these are non-monetary items. Guys, I understand that we are sitting here since 4 days. It is your situation, the same situation is with me. Okay, I am also here since 4 days. And you guys are just listening to me. I have to use my voice. So have some respect for this thing. Because now we have only 1.5 hours. So if you got, at this moment, if you're not listening to me, like I know in your mind what is running. When the session will over, when the session, I want to go. Okay, understood. Even I also want to go. But because of this thing, because of this understanding, because of this thinking, I am observing that some people are not actually listening to me. The body is only here. Actually, the body is just here. I can challenge. And those people can understand now. Yes, he's right. Your body is only here. Please try to understand. Okay. See, I am also giving my, maybe not 100, but I am also giving my efforts. So please have some respect for that efforts only. Okay, now because I have a respect for your attempt. So you must have a respect for that effort. If it will match now, you will definitely pass. You will definitely pass. Try to understand. Both points should match. So please have some patience. Utilize your 1 hour, 15 minutes effectively, very much effectively. Please. Okay. So, monetary, non-monetary. What is monetary? Assets, liabilities can be monetary or non-monetary. Those assets, liabilities which have a fixed monetary value, receivable in fixed amount, payable in fixed amount, monetary. What is non-monetary? Other than monetary, not fixed. Building, plant and machinery, inventory, investments. All these are non-monetary. Understood? FD. Monetary, receivable in fixed amount. Even though it is investment, but FD is a receivable in fixed amount. No? Okay, fine. So why I am dealing with this monetary, non-monetary? Because Ind AS provides you the treatment based on monetary and non-monetary. There are the different treatment for monetary asset liabilities. There are different treatment for non-monetary asset and liability. You have to understand first. Now, we decided that what is monetary, non-monetary. Understood or not? Now tell me. Debtor. It's a monetary asset? Now, foreign debtor. It's a foreign monetary asset. Just use the word F. Foreign monetary asset. Are you guys understanding or not? See, debtor monetary. Foreign debtor. Okay, it is receivable in foreign currency, na? But whatever receivable to me in foreign currency, it is also the foreign currency is also the fixed, na? The debtor will give me only $10,000. I know the value of $10,000 in terms of rupee may fluctuate, but in the dollar terms it is fixed, na? So it will become FCMI. FCMI. MI is monetary item. FC is foreign currency monetary item. Understand or not? So what is FCMI? Not full form. What is MCI? FCMI. Any monetary item which is denominated in foreign currency. Simple. Okay. Took a borrowing from India. Monetary, non-monetary. Huh? Monetary fixed. Whatever the borrowing I took, I have to pay the same value. It's a monetary. Took a borrowing from foreign country. FCMI. Foreign currency monetary item. Okay. Purchase a building. Purchase a building. Non-monetary. Purchase a building in foreign currency. Foreign currency non-monetary item. Understood or not? Huh? Invested in the equity share of some US based company. Foreign currency but non-monetary item. Understood or not? Indians have the treatment, different treatment for foreign currency monetary item, foreign currency non-monetary item. Different treatment for both of them. Are you guys understanding or not? Huh? Okay. Let's start with FCMI. What is FCMI full form? Now asking full form. Foreign currency monetary item. Okay. Asking one question. Mr. John, I have a debtor in the name of Mr. John, and he is my US based client. Okay, he is my US based client. I want to recover from him $50,000. Is it my FCMI? Yes. Tell me. Yes. Okay. On balance sheet date, it is still recoverable. Mr. John hasn't paid me till now. He will pay me after 1 month. So on balance sheet date, India says it is your FCMI. Revalue this FCMI on the balance sheet date, on the balance sheet rate. Balance sheet rate. Suppose I recorded Mr. John $50,000 previously at 80 rupees. Now at balance sheet date, the dollar becomes 82. Dollar becomes 82. What I should do? Revalue the FCMI. What should I do? Revalue the FCMI. Tell me, is it a gain or loss? Gain. Huh? Gain. Of course, gain. From 80 to 82. So technically 2 rupees are increasing, na? I will get 50,000 fixed, but when I convert this 50, it will be converted into 82 now. So I will get a good amount. Tell now. Yes. So this is called exchange difference, and you transfer the exchange difference directly to profit and loss. Guys, are you understanding or not? Yes. Understand or not? So whenever you do the revaluation of FCMI, revaluation of FCMI, what is FCMI? Foreign debtor, foreign creditor, foreign loan, these all are FCMI. When you do the revaluation of FCMI, exchange difference will go to P&L. Will go to except one case. Cash flow hedge reserve, if you remember. Cash flow hedge reserve. Cash flow hedge reserve, if you remember. No? Not remember? It's not my responsibility. Let's further move on. We discussed the cash flow hedge reserve, where we had discussed one example in my book, where we had one foreign debtor only, and we recognized the exchange difference in CFHR, not in profit and loss. That was the exception of India's 21. Yes, you do. I know what is actually inside your mind. Yes. So, okay, fine. FCMI. Please listen to me. FCMI. I know that. FCMI. Debtor, creditor, loans. What to do? Revalue. As per which currency? Today's currency. Today's rate. Which rate? Balance sheet rate. Okay. Then exchange gain or exchange loss. Transfer to P&L. Exception? Which hedge? Cash flow hedge. How many types of hedge are there? What are the three types? Cash flow hedge, fair value hedge, hedge of net investment in foreign operation. Foreign operation. We discussed the meaning of the foreign operation just now. Just now, foreign operation we discussed. Foreign subsidiary, foreign associate, foreign branch, foreign JV. Okay, understood or not? Try to understand. There's so much beauty in Indies. Each and every Indies is linked to another Indies, basically. Each and every Indies is linked, technically. If we have good amount of time now, like I can tell you, like there are so many interesting part of other Indies also. All the Indies are connected, literally connected. But since we don't have the time, so we are not getting much enough time to talk about this. But there are so many connecting things. And don't worry, if sometimes if I feel like I need to revise you, then we'll take the sessions. Okay. Now further move on. FCMI done? Please tell me, FCMI done? Where you will keep the differences of FCMI in P&L. Now don't talk about exceptions. In P&L, understood or not? Now come to the next portion, non-FCMI. I mean to say, foreign currency, non-monetary items. What is FCMI? Monetary item. What is FCNMI? FCNMI. Foreign currency, non-monetary. Give me the example first. Foreign building. You purchase the foreign building, foreign investments, foreign assets. Understood or not? Okay, what you will do? Historical? Fair value? Both? This is again interesting, very much interesting. First of all, is inventory a non-monetary? Building? Investment? Yes. Alright. Let's not talk about 21 for 5 minutes. Let's talk about some other Indies because of the linking. Inventory, which Indies? 2. What is the measurement criteria? Cost or NRV, whichever is lower. Suppose the cost is lower. You measure them at cost? You measure them cost? Okay. Building, which Indies? Maybe 16, maybe 40. If the building is owner occupied, like using in my business, then 16. If it is for capital appreciation, India is 40. Okay. Now, building. Suppose using the building in my business, which India is? Tell me now. 16. How should I measure my building at the balance sheet date? 2 options, either cost model, fair value model. You remember? Okay. Building for capital appreciation purpose. It is my investment property as per India's 40. I have to measure the building only and only at cost. No fair valuation model is allowed. Are you guys understanding or not? If you don't remember, if you don't know or don't remember this, let me tell you one thing. Building, if it is under investment property, it will be kept only at cost, historical cost only. Yes, sir. Say yes at least, yeah. Last. Investment in equity shares. Which Indies? 109 financial instrument? Yes. The definition of financial instrument. Financial asset. The definition of financial asset. Cash including bank deposits. The second line. Equity instrument of another entity is the investment, na? So it comes under Indies 109. What can be the classification of this investment in equity instrument? Either AMC or FVTOC or FVTPL. Generally FVTPL, but exceptionally if it is not held for trading, say if it is not held for trading in OCI, in both ways, fair value only. Now the problem with all these kind of non-monetary items are, some non-monetary items are measured at cost only. Some non-monetary items are measured sometimes at fair value. Some non-monetary items sometimes are measured at cost or NRV, whichever is lower. The main problem is non-monetary items doesn't have one single measurement rule. No understood? Understood or not understood? Sometimes the non-monetary item measured at cost, the cost model as per investment property, or the India 16 cost model. Sometimes they are measured at fair value, like the India 16 revaluation model, like the investment in equity, fair value through profit and loss. Sometimes they are measured at NRV, inventory. Did you understood the problem? Yes. What is the problem? There is no uniformity. And actually this is not a problem. Basically the nature is different. This is the reason why there are so many measurement rules. But what should Ind AS 21 do? Because Ind AS 21 says you purchase the inventory in foreign currency, it becomes your foreign currency non-monetary item. You purchase the building in foreign currency, it becomes your foreign currency non-monetary item. You purchase the equity investment in foreign currency, it becomes the foreign currency non-monetary item. You purchase the you purchase the land, which is your investment property in US, it becomes your foreign currency non-monetary item. Now you guys are not actually stable. You guys are not uniformly following any one measurement rule. How should I give you the treatment? Because you all are into foreign currency. Are you guys understanding? Yes, I'm Ind AS 21. I'm looking at the land, building, inventory, investment in equity. I'm talking to them that you don't have one single measurement rule. What should I do? But because you are into foreign currency, I have to give you one treatment. Understood or not? Yes. So Ind AS 21 decided that those who are into cost model now get lost. No revaluation. You guys are cost model now, no revaluation. Initially I recorded you at spot rate now. Initially I recorded at spot rate now. Get lost. No more revaluations only. Only one time revaluation once in a life. Got the point or not? So those who are following measurement rule of cost model now get lost. I already given you the spot rate. Continue with the same rate every year. Get lost. Now what remains? What remains? Those items which are measured at either fair value, NRV, market value, blah 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 value other than cost. Yes. Huh? So Ind AS 21, talking to them. Okay, you are at fair value, you are at NRV, you are at market price. Okay. Same as FCMI. What was FCMI? What was the treatment of FCMI? Take the balance sheet rate, revalue them, difference transfer to wait. It depends. Asking you, who are you? No, you are investment in equity measured through FPT OCI. Who are you?
Investment in equity
Measured through FPT OCI. Other than cost now?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Don't get lost. Here only. So apply the same as per FCMI. What was the FCMI's rule? Take the new rate. Take the balance sheet rate. Okay, take the rate. Very good. Take the rate. Okay. Revalue yourself. Revalue. Okay. Now give me the difference. How much difference is there? Say something.
1 lakh.
1 lakh. Your name is?
George.
Your name is? Please. There is important concept. Please. Your name is? OCI. Give me the difference. 1 lakh. I will keep this difference in the OCI because you are measuring through OCI. Understand that? Retail now. Okay. What is your name? Inventory. Say inventory. Okay. What is your name? Inventory. How you measure yourself? Cost or NRV, whichever is lower. Right now at the balance sheet date, how you measured? At your cost is lower or your NRV is lower? Say cost. Say cost. Measured cost? Get lost. You remember now cost? Case 2. Say NRV. You measured yourself at NRV. Okay. Now you are measuring yourself at NRV, same as FCMI. Follow the same rules. What same rules? Take the new rate. Took it. Okay. Revalue yourself. Okay. Tell me, give me the difference. Okay. How much difference? 50,000. Where I should keep it? Investment has any connection with OCI? Sorry, inventory. Inventory has any connection with OCI? Not at all. Transfer to P&L. Now you got the point. What I am saying? Tell me. Tell me what I am saying. Correct. Non-monetary foreign currency items. Foreign currency non-monetary items. First, you have to check: are they measured at cost or other than cost? If they are measured at cost, get lost. Why get lost? Already given the spot rate, will continue with the same rate, historical cost. Not measured at cost. Follow the same rule of FCMI. Take the new rate, revalue, calculate the gain or loss. But now, where the gain or loss we need to keep it? It depends on their nature. If they are measured through P&L, transfer the difference to P&L. If they are measured through OCI, transfer the difference to OCI. Simple. Understood or not? Yes. What's your name? Your name is not investment. What is your name? George. Okay. It's fine now. Huh? Don't give me the negative feedback then. Huh? Acha, what you said in Malayalam? He said something in Malayalam, in a feedback. As a feedback.
You selected the most important aspects as you felt, and you gave full clarity of the topic.
Acha, copy pasted means. Whatever other side is copy pasted, na same thing, na. I hope you got the point of monetary, non-monetary. Tell me. I hope by this discussion you will never forget this, get lost and all the things, huh? Okay. Tell me now. Continuing the same. Let's come to the point number 7. Can you please read this loudly? Brief approach under Ind AS 21. Now, first column. It's a question. We ask, Ind AS ask us, is the transaction in foreign currency? Yes. Second question. Translate the transaction into. So what is the approach of Ind AS? Ind AS first asks you whether there's a foreign currency transaction. We are saying yes. So he is giving the solution that yes, translate that transaction into functional currency initially and on every balance sheet date make subsequent. See guys, we discussed the subsequent recognition right now, FCMI and non-FCMI. You understood or not? Are we discussed now? Yes. Okay, then.
Now is the present.
Everyone guys. Now is your presentation currency different from functional currency? Yes. See, now, wait. Foreign currency. No. Pound. My Indian currency is rupee. Functional currency. Okay, here what I will do? Pound to rupee? Simply pound to rupee or not? Pound to rupee? Okay, now ask the question once again. Loudly. Is your presentation currency different from? Yes. Yes means say dollar. What is the functional currency? Functional rupee and presentation dollar. Okay, next. Loudly. No problem. Translate your entire balance sheet and profit and loss from rupee to dollar. Done? Happy. Fine. This is a brief approach of the Ind AS 21. What do you need to do in the Ind AS 21? Tell me. First step, foreign to functional. Second step, functional to presentation. Simple. This is the step. Foreign to functional. Functional to presentation. Simple. Understood or not? Yes. Acha, okay. Foreign to functional. Wait. Foreign to functional. Wait, here now discuss. Foreign to functional. Initial recognition at spot rate? Yes. Don't ask monetary or non-monetary. Initial recognition for every item, spot rate. Okay. Balance sheet time. Balance sheet time. Ask. Are you FCMI or FCNMI? I am FCMI. Revalue. New rate. Exchange difference. Pain. I am FCNMI. Ask me again. Cost or fair value? I said cost. Okay, I said fair value. Revalue. New rate. Exchange difference. Ask me. I said OCI. I said no OCI. Okay. Fine. What was it? Foreign to functional. Ask new question. Are you going to prepare a balance sheet in rupee only or any other currency? Ask. Are you going to prepare the balance sheet only in rupee or another currency? I said rupee only. Yes, no issue. Don't move on. That's it. Done. No, not rupee. Dollar. Now, listen to me. No need to do FCMI, FCNMI. When you do foreign to functional, you do these kind of things, FCMI, FCNMI. But when you do functional to present to sum, don't do these kind of things, FC, non-FC, no. Entire balance sheet into single rate. Are you guys understanding or not? Full balance sheet of Indian rupee, full P&L of Indian rupee into the new rate, new currency ID. Understand or not? That is the third point. It is written in the third column. Please read the third column again. Translate your entire balance sheet, entire P&L from functional to. So where we do FCMI and FCNMI, where we do foreign to functional, but where we do entire balance sheet, entire P&L, functional to presentation. This is the way you understood, and you have to understand. Okay, fine, great. So all these are discussed because of the examples I have given you. Everything is discussed. What is written, it is already discussed now. I am not going to discuss anything again. Okay, this is discussed. Guys, general rule, FCMI, FCNMI, non-monetary item which are measured at fair value other than through OCI. It is everything discussed. Okay, fine. Yes, example 2 is quite important. Example 2 is just like that. Example 2, what is the name?
Investment in.
Example 2 is like that. We discussed the example now. Same example, machine basically and revalued. So it is a machine based on OCI. So you have to transfer the exchange difference on OCI. So you do the example at the home. Definitely it will be understood. Don't worry. Guys, are you understanding or not? Yes. Very good. Now the next point which is important. Not so important. Change in functional currency. Change in functional currency. See. Change in functional currency. See. Can we change our functional currency? Generally, no. Because our primary economic environment is same now. So how can we change our functional currency? But if our primary economic environment is getting changed, our dependency of currency is getting changed from one currency to another currency, then we can change the functional currency. Sir, this happens practically?
Yes.
Rare, very rare. But if this happens, the company will definitely change from the beginning of the new year. The company will not change in the mid of the year. How can a company will change the functional currency in the mid of the year? Are you guys understanding me? Beginning of particular year. Okay, so yes, the functional currency could be changed. The functional currency could be changed if there is a change in the circumstances, if there is a change in the primary economic environment in which entity is dependent. So read the first line. Understood now? Okay. Read the second point of the sub 1 point of second number. All items. Asset, liability, equity, expense, income are translated into new functional currency using exchange rate at the date of change. No scope of any exchange difference. Say why? I'm saying no scope of any exchange gain or loss. Why? Because each and every item is getting converted into single rate. So no scope of any exchange difference or gain or loss. Na? Try to understand. Na? So whenever you change your functional currency, is there any exchange difference arise? No, not at all. Possible in not possible at all. Alright guys, understood it now? Okay. So this is just the basic structure. Now this is again important. Okay, what the brief approach was that? Please tell me what was the brief approach? The brief approach we discussed right now. First, from foreign to now in this process from foreign to functional, the initial recognition at spot rate, the subsequent measurement depends on the FCMI, FCNMI, cost, other than cost. You understood now? Yes. Now the second, functional to presentation. Read the point. Functional to presentation. When you go from functional to presentation, rules for the translation to presentation currency. What is the rule? Basically, you just read this table only. Just read this table only, please. All the asset and liabilities. No need to do FC, non-FC. Which rate? Closing rate. All asset liabilities, change them to closing rate. Okay, next. All incomes, all expenses. Which rate? Rate at the date of transaction if you found otherwise. Average rate. Guys, one trick I have, but I don't know how much you will understand. Basically that trick depends on the CA intermediate part. Have you remember the foreign branch chapter? वो foreign branch chapter remember or not? Integral, non-integral. All the rules of non-integral operation are here. These are same. Leave it, sir. Leave it. Basically, FCTR, foreign currency translation reserve we used to create. Same. There also in the non-integral foreign branch, all the asset and liabilities used to be translated into the same closing rate. See, same closing rate. Asset and liabilities, same closing rate. There only in intermediate, all the incomes and expenses used to be translated at the average rate. We are doing the same. And then whatever the resulting difference is there, we used to classify as here OCI, there FCTR. Completely same. Now it totally depends on your information or your knowledge of CA intermediate. Otherwise you need to learn only three things. What you will learn? Whenever you will do functional to presentation. Functional to all asset liabilities at new rate of balance sheet. All income expense average. Difference OCI. Keep it an OCI. Sir, what about this capital transaction? Same average rate. Capital transaction. RPL. Reclassified to P&L. This OCI belongs to RPL. You can write it also. So it is even written. Such difference to be transferred to P&L on disposal. RPL. It is already written. Guys, have you understood or not?
So non-reclassified investment, equity OCI, and then there's what is there in OCI non-reclassifiable?
There may be more. There are 3-4 items. You can find out all these things in my chart book last page. All the summary of OCI. Okay, now only you want to see. Okay. Acha, tell me. Come to this question number 201. Come to this question number 201. Question number 201. Excuse me. 201. Not the last page. 201. It's page number 19.4. 19. 19. And 19. Ah, 19.4, 19.5. Same. Okay, read this question. Alright, keep quiet. Company Apple's functional currency is INR, means Indian rupee. On 1117, the company buys a building. How much dollar? Can I say that the building is FCNMI? Write it. FCNMI. And why FC? It is bought in foreign currency, na? Dollar. Okay, fine. Next. Spot rate. Okay, convert. Please convert immediately. 54 lakh. See the entry. First entry. Building account debit to bank. 54 lakh 48,000. Array, what is this? It is initial recognition. Now wait till balance sheet. Okay. Tell me, what Ind AS 21 asked the building? Who are you? What is your measurement rule? Read the question first and then decide. Company Apple's year end 31st March. Building is not depreciated as it is not yet available for use. Okay. 31st March 17. Exchange rate become 55.54 per dollar. The value of the building. They gave the fair value. Okay. What is the hint? The building is coming under revaluation. Okay. Now tell me. Yes. Who are you? As per the question, who are you? You are building. Which category you belongs? FCMI or FCNMI? NMI. Under FCNMI, who are you? Cost or revaluation? Very good. Revaluation. So what you will do? Okay. First of all, revalue yourself. Dollar 110 multiply by new rate 55.54 new rate 61 lakh. Okay, calculate the exchange difference. Earlier it was 54 lakh 48,000. How much? 661. Where will you transfer it? Revaluation, reserve, OCI. Guys, understood or not? But if the question asks you to bifurcate this into two parts. Question asks you to bifurcate this into two parts. Sir, what are the two parts? Exchange difference due to rate and exchange difference due to revaluation. If question asks you these two things, how will you answer? Difference due to exchange rate only. 1 lakh multiply by the difference. 54.48, 55.54. Tell me. The difference rate. 1.06. Huh? Okay, it's 1,06,000. Guys, understood or not? And what is the date due to exchange difference due to revaluation? Sir, revaluation is a 10,000, na? Tell na. Multiply by closing rate. Closing. 55.54. 5 lakh? Combine them. Just check, combine them. Is it equal to 661? Yes. But both of them you will keep it under OCI. Okay, fine. Tell me na guys, fine. The same question it is. 202 the same question it is. You can do this at your home. Okay. Those rest of the part of the question you can do by yourself. Okay.